Here's the thing, your main character is not a therapist, they are not a philosopher, and they are definitely not a walking dictionary. They are a person. I'm Holly Schindler, an award-winning author, as well as freelance editor, writing coach, and writing instructor. And today I'm going to tell you all about the thing that often makes your main character feel real, their internal monologue. I'm going to tell you what an internal monologue is, how it can often go wrong, and what it needs to work. Okay, what is an internal monologue? It is your character's thoughts as they experience the present moment. Okay, well, what does that mean? It's your character thinking to themselves in real time. Okay, where can this internal monologue go wrong? If an internal monologue is nothing more than your character's thoughts, how can that ever be wrong? Well, it is wrong when you, as the author, are butting in too much. Okay, here's one example. Let's say in your romance, you've got a main character thinking to themselves something along the lines of, I could not possibly get involved with Jeremy right now because of my abandonment issues. Okay, that is never going to fly with your reader because that does not sound like human thought. It sounds like a therapy session. Now, the main thing you want to remember about an internal monologue is it is never about having answers already. It's about trying to figure things out. In a mystery, it's the detective trying to piece together the clues. In a horror novel, it is the main character obsessing over every single sound. In a romance, it's the main character wondering, do I really love this person or am I just lonely? Internal monologues are messy, uncertain, and constantly in motion. Okay, so how do we make thought sound real? There are a few techniques that will help you out every time. First of all, human thought is pretty fragmented, right? You don't think in perfect sentences. Let's say in a YA, you've got a main character just obsessing over their crush. They might think something along the lines of, I should text. Wait, no. It's been what? 2 hours? It's not enough time. Then again, what if I said something weird? Does he think I'm weird? Second human thought is associative. One thought will invite another, often in kind of strange ways. We've all had this experience where our mind is just wandering and one thought invites another, and suddenly we've come upon a decision that we hadn't expected to actually make. We've sort of talked ourselves into doing something just by one thought leading into another. And this is great for explaining how your main character can act in totally unexpected ways. One example might be, say you've got an adult family drama, okay, and your main character thinks something along the lines of, the coffee's gone cold. I should have drunk it earlier. Dad never let anything sit. He always said, do it now or don't do it at all. He was right about so many things. When I get back home, I'm doing it. I'm taking that job. Also, human thought is immediate, right? We always have thoughts about what is happening to us right at the present moment. Let's say you got a horror novel. Your main character might think something along the lines of, does anyone else hear that? Am I the only one? There it was again. Is everyone else as afraid as I am? Too afraid to move? Also, thought is sensory. We don't just feel our environment, we also think about it. You might drop in some details of your main character, for example, thinking about how bitter something is that they're eating or how cold it is in a room during a breakup scene. We've seen this a bit in some of the previous examples, but human thought also contradicts itself a lot. I should go. No, that's stupid. But what if that's not pretty, but that's real? Finally, human thought is in fact pretty repetitive. Your main character should also circle back to the same worries and the same thoughts, but not in a way that makes them seem stuck. In my middle grade novel, The Junction of Sunshine and Lucky, we've got basically the same worry running through the entire book. We've got a young girl and her grandfather who live in kind of a lower income neighborhood, and they've gotten on the House Beautification Committee's radar. So initially, all they want to do is fix up their house in the way that they can, right, in the way they can afford to do. And, this goes on throughout the book, trying to please this committee, one worry, one what if at a time. And by the end of this book, they are in fact transformed into folk artists. Your character's worry should absolutely change shape throughout the course of the book, and it should transform your main character too. So the goal with an internal monologue is not to make your main character sound smarter than everyone else, more profound, more poetic. It's just to make them sound real. Because the thing is, when your reader finds your main character real, they're going to connect to them. And when they connect, they'll care. If you want to check the realism level in your own main character's internal monologue, a great way to do it is just to read those sections out loud, or better yet, record those sections and listen back. That is the best way to zone in on sections that sound like your main character and the ones that sound more like you, the author. If you want more advice on how to make your book feel absolutely real to your readers, check out my book, Narrative Transportation. Got a link to it below. Catch you in the next video. In the meantime, go write something.